Yeah, I think the team are just focused and really looking forward to the tournament. It just can't come quick enough now for us. It's like we've been keeping the reins on these players over the last couple of days and just trying to keep them focused and fresh and ready to play. It's an interesting group. You're coming up against teams that, if they get a result against Canada, it'll be a huge, huge achievement. So, we know pretty much we've got everything to lose in these games, and these teams have everything to gain. But the main thing for us is we're just focused on winning the group, getting through to the mission-critical game, which is Game 4, and then, onto a final.
Yeah, I think as a team we're in a great space right now. We've been training for a long time together. We've got a bunch of new faces compared to what we had at the World Cup. It's an exciting group, and I just know as a player we're eagerly awaiting the games to begin. We're kind of sick of beating each other up, and we're ready to take on a different opponent now.
Yeah, I just think you go game to game. It's like a golf course. You play a hole, and that's the hole we're playing, and you're focused on that, and then you leave that behind and move on to the next. I mean, we're really clear that we've got a process we have to deliver, and we're coming up against teams that will look probably to get a point against Canada or and go out there to stifle and frustrate. So we've been working behind the scenes on that. We have to be very diligent with our defensive work, particularly in the counter-attack. And then the attacking side, it's about, having the players being able to release that creative mojo that you have to bring to break down these tough defensive blocks. And you look at teams when they line up against Canada, they're hard because they have a single focus, and that single focus is built around usually not allowing you to score first and foremost. And when a team can focus all their energy in that space, that can be anger, it can be frustration, that can fuel, defending. If we get frustrated, you won't get that creativity that you need to break down these teams. So we've been working on the mindset of the group and just making sure that, we keep a good mood, and if there was frustrating times come, then we overcome them by just coming back to process. And, I think the girls are ready for that.
And John, what do you think of Guyana? It's a team that has, I think, 9 Canadians on it. Did you do any scouting in Toronto for them?
Well, they haven't played too many games, and, I've been on that side of the ledger. When I first took over at New Zealand, the team had been beaten 13-0. You're preparing for a Women's World Cup, and you really get to understand the mindset and psyche of a team like that. But those teams can really gel together quickly, and the excitement of knocking Christine Sinclair over, a fellow Canadian, that's great motivation for some people. So Guyana have got players from all over the place, and from what I can see, they'll be well organised. They'll be probably a 4-5-1, and you're going to have to break that down and then just watch you don't get caught on set pieces and counter-attacks. I mean, they may come out and play as well, and we encourage that, because that's the type of game I'm sure everyone wants to see. But who knows? At the end of the day, we're expecting a similar style, because we can impose ourselves on teams to force a certain way of playing, and that's what we intend to do. Yeah, look, that's a great question. This team's been in transition since 2012. When we won a bronze medal in London, it was an aged team that was ready for turnover and transition. But in the planning, we had a Women's World Cup at home, and we've been working for 4 years to provide steady opportunity for younger players. We've been building our Excel system, which is the talent pool, which aligns all of our elite development to the national team. And now we're starting to see the fruits of it. 2016 may reveal some real top-class young players. It may not, but Canada's definitely a program that's been in transition for the last 3-4 years. And when we selected our World Cup squad, we looked at players that we felt could handle that tournament, which was a lot of pressure, a lot of expectation. And, we had a younger group who were just in the Pan American Games, behind the scenes, getting game time and experience. So this it's a really cool group. It's when you bring those senior players together with a group of players who are in this for the first time, it's like those young players are going to a 5-star hotel that everything's just fantastic and new and amazing. The senior players have been going to this for many a year, and they just don't see how good it is. And they remind them for sure. And we've added some new pace to the team, which has, put our defenders on the back foot a bit more. And we've added new technical competence, which has made some players step up to another notch. I think it's just become really competitive in there and quite exciting. So I'm hoping that alchemy is what gives us an edge in this tournament.
Christine, Aaron said today that those young players, that the older players may be learning more from the young players than around.
She's crazy, though. No, I mean, like John said, these new faces that are in our team, they just bring a new energy and excitement to practice, but just to everyday life around the hotel. They're in this for the first time, and it's interesting hearing them talk about, the dream of qualifying for the Olympics for the first time, and the dream of being a young kid and dreaming of being in the Olympics. And having been there a couple times, you might lose that a little bit. And these young kids have sort of reignited the fire in all of us. And training is very competitive. I think we have probably the deepest squad we've ever had, and it's exciting. And I think the potential for some of these kids is just the moon, literally. We've got some special talent.
A lot of the talk, unfortunately, sort of out of Brazil right now is with the Zika virus. I know you still have a tournament ahead, but have any sort of players looked at that, and is there any concern right now?
No, I haven't heard our team talk about it once, to be honest. Our focus is tomorrow night, and that's pretty much where we're staying focused at. And, let's qualify for the Olympics first, and then we'll move on to that.
Seeing with your next goal, you'll pass me a hand. Is that in the back of your mind as you step out on the pitch tomorrow night?
Not really. I've never been one to really focus on things like that. The people around me tend to remind me all the time. So yeah, hopefully it'll be nice to get it out of the way at some point this tournament, hopefully tomorrow night. But no, it's not something I've spent too much time focused on.
You've got 2 NCAA titles here in Texas. Is Texas a lucky charm for you?
It's been so far so good for my career, so let's hope to keep it going.
Any other questions? Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.